Welcome to r/choosingbeggers, where people don't deserve the best but demand it anyways. Our first post is by Dr. Faisal. Ex-classmate jokingly tries to cash in a bet, fails, awkward conversation ensues. This is kind of a complicated interaction and needs a bit of backstory, but stay with me. Obligatory, not a mobile, and English is my first language, so roast me. Okay, so before I continue, basically, somehow OP got into a bet that she didn't know she was in, and now, 4 years later, Kevin expects her to honor that bet. You understand. Former classmate I haven't talked to in years tries to cash in a bet that we made on Instagram 4 years ago regarding me getting a headphone jackless phone. A phone without a headphone jack. I never agreed to a bet and technically did not lose it yet. It seems he was asking me for money. Awkwardness ensues. Whatever. I met this guy, let's call him Kevin, in an undergrad class during my final year, so 2010, 2011. We interacted some during the class and we were both active participants and wound up on Facebook friends. He was a nice enough guy, but we never hung out outside of class or talked pretty much at all since we finished the course. Looking back on our Facebook chat, he messaged me once in 2012 out of the blue discussing a diagnosis he got. I was in med school, but that was about it. We followed each other on Instagram as well, but again, very little interaction. I don't know anything about this guy's life currently. Apparently in 2017, we had a conversation. I'll link the original post down in the comments. You can check it out. He posted, I have no idea why I took the bait, but I'm pretty confrontational, so whatever. Maybe I was having a weird day. Give these a read before continuing the story. Note, I don't remember this conversation took place, seeing as it was 4 years ago. But he sent it to jog my memory during the conversation where noted. Today's conversation was sparked by posting a heavily pregnant mirror selfie on Facebook yesterday. And he commented asking me what phone he had. I replied with a Pixel 2, an innocent enough question, whatever. This interaction took place today on Facebook chat and it was just wild. I wanted to post about it. Also, I'm on maternity leave and had nothing better to do. Insert small talk about my pregnancy and COVID-19 here. So, you have a Pixel 12? How's life without a headphone jack? Haha, didn't have much of a choice, did I? No phones have one anymore. Also, I never plug in headphones, so it hasn't been that big of an issue, though. As you may recall, you were pretty adamant that you would never get a phone without a headphone jack, and I was pretty confident you would cave and get one. Who turned out to be right, OP? I mean, I didn't really have a choice, so you ended up right by default, sir. Now, OP, you most certainly did have a choice. 3 years ago, the Samsung Galaxy still had a headphone jack. Jeez. And there are still Android phones with it today, but that is neither here nor there. We had a bet and you lost. Yes, but I didn't want a fire hazard on my hands. There weren't a lot on planes, which pre-COVID were a staple in my life, haha. Excuses. Haha, sure. So, you owe me $100,000. I'm flexible, so I'll take check or Venmo. Whatever works better for you, lol. Gee, why don't you say cash? I'm gonna say I don't remember this bet and will not be fulfilling it, lol. Sorry, mate. At this point, he sent me the above screenshot from Instagram. I sent you the photos. Of something I typed on Instagram 4 years ago. A bet is a bet. Not exactly a binding contract. Also, I think I received the phone as a gift from my brother, so technically I didn't even have a say in it. Sorry, mate. Technically I didn't buy it. Winning on a technicality. Hashtag lawyered. Oh, come on now, OP. You caved like I knew you would. Nope. I said I would never buy one, and I haven't. Stuck true to my word. Sorry, mate. Rules are rules. You still have an iPhone? I get this was all in jest, but it was getting to be an awkward conversation. Thought it would end here. But you will eventually have to buy one without a headphone jack. Yes, I still have an iPhone. I don't plan on getting a new phone, but now I'll buy one because I realize how inconsequential it is, seeing as I never use a headphone jack anyways. People are allowed to change their minds with new information, but your aha moment did fall short, seeing as I still have not bought a phone with a headphone jack just to date. Just take the L, mate. Okay, but again, I knew you would cave and be an Android sheep because this always happens with you Android fanboys. I was right. Okay, I guess. Whatever you want to think. Have a good one. Oh, come on, OP. Don't be a sore loser. I'm not a sore loser? I still haven't purchased a phone without a headphone jack, so again, your gotcha moment didn't work out. And again, I'm an adult who won't be held hostage by something I posted on Insta 4 years ago. Knowing that, I don't need a headphone jack. My next phone will inevitably not have one. It will not be a momentous occasion for me. You're just taking a joke a bit far, mate. Okay, but then when you do upgrade and get a phone that doesn't have a headphone, I would expect you to honor our bet. Maybe a little, but honestly, I'm not expecting you to pay me 100k. I'm not insane, though. Absolutely not. Did you just message me expecting me to give you money? No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Okay, well, it's been fun catching up. I genuinely wanted to know how you were doing, especially considering you were gonna be a mother. Also, I bet you 100,000, with nothing implied in terms of currency or denomination. So, sure, here, I'll send you 100,000 air molecules. Hope they make it to you. This has been an extremely weird interaction. Have a good one. Wishing you the best. Oh, come on. I'm totally pulling your leg. You just don't get my sense of humor. I'm not insane. I don't seriously expect you to give me 100k for something we talked about on Insta years ago. I don't know, maybe buy me a beer or something. Yeah, that's enough weird interactions for the day. No, please don't start an Android versus Apple thing. I don't care. I just want the corporations to pay taxes and stop building planned ops. Yeah, that's true. Obsolescence into their products. Anyways, this Kevin is very questionable. Sometimes you just really have to know a joke, because I doubt anyone could pay 100,000. I don't think anyone actually. I don't know many people that have $100,000 in their bank account. I don't think I've ever even made 100,000. But then again, I'm broke. Anyways, yeah, just be careful what you post online, everyone. Be careful what you post online. Don't sign things and don't agree to things that are very stupid. Yeah. Our next post is by Superfly666. Sold a PC capable of running Fortnite. 2 years after the buyer wanted a refund to keep the PC and wants the free upgrade because his son can play Arc on max settings. A good few years ago, I was selling my wife's old gaming setup, PC, keyboard, mouse, and monitor, as she wanted a laptop. I got an advert on Facebook Marketplace for a second-hand gaming PC for about £150. Not brilliant, but would pay low-medium games with little issue. I get a message from the future choosing beggar saying he wants to buy this PC for his son, but it must be able to run Fortnite, be fast, have red, green, blue lighting, must be able to visit and test in person. So, I explained to Choosing Beggar that the PC is secondhand and has some used parts, but it did have a brand new case with red, green, blue lights in it. That took way too long to read. And a brand new graphics card. Choosing Beggars was happy with all this, came to my house with the rest of his family, and tested this PC playing Fortnite. Choosing Beggar was happy with the PC and bought it. Fast forward 2 years, Choosing Beggar messages me out of the blue to say the PC is broken and he wants to bring it to me so I can fix it. I asked him what the issue is with the PC and asked him to explain how it broke. Also mentioning that 2 years has passed, I'm not really obligated to do anything, but don't mind trying to troubleshoot what the issue is. A few hours of messages back and forth, he doesn't really clarify what broke with the PC other than it isn't playing what his son wanted to play. Choosing Beggar says Fortnite still works fine. My son isn't into it anymore, and all his friends are playing Rust and Ark Survival Evolved. He goes into further mention that both these games work, but he isn't able to play them on max graphical settings, which he isn't very happy about as he purchased a gaming PC and expects it to play any game. What? Yo, I mean... He mentioned the graphic card or the monitor is defective because sometimes when he's playing one first-person shooter games, the background becomes out of focus, fuzzy when he's looking at something close to him. Hashtag depth off field. I have no idea what that just said, but I apologize. Also, Choosing Beggar mentioned he switches ISP because ARC tools took long to download, and for some reason this was my fault or the PC's. Choosing Beggar then goes on to demand that he wants a full refund, but wanted to keep the PC for all the hassle, but also wanted me to fix the PC and put in parts that allow his son to play Rust and Ark on the max settings. After declining Choosing Beggar's most generous offer, he ramps up the stupid and asks this PC was also a Christmas present for his son and hopes I'm happy that his son is crying. He also taken this PC to various PC shops across the UK, and each had said the PC is a fake or isn't worth £10. Didn't even have a power supply, didn't even have a graphics card. Seeing as Choosing Beggar has sent me a small video of this PC prior, and you can quite clearly see the PC working. But you can also see the graphics card through the case window, and actually explain that if the PC didn't have a power supply, the PC wouldn't even be on. After a week full of messages, I told him to email me his full complaint, explaining exactly what it is and what isn't working in the PC, and also to explain how the PC is now different to what he tested before he brought it. I didn't get an email from Choosing Beggar, but after a few days he messaged to say that if I don't do this for him, he'll be setting the PC on fire and throwing it through the window. Okay then, let me just see. Well, I mean, my car certainly doesn't work. Let me go back to the dealership and tell them to fix it for free, and that I want a full refund, and I also want to keep the car. Let's see how that goes. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got laughed out of the phone. Yeah, this dad is really stupid. Anyways, I still can't understand his logic. If you want a refund, I don't think you get to keep it, right? I mean, refund basically means you give back what you bought, you get your money back, but you don't get to keep what you originally bought, right? I don't know. I might not know something about refunds. Hey, I'm willing to be corrected. Our next post is by Xander2421. My house burnt down. Can I get a discount? No, you may not. About 15 years ago, I had a job with Hilton in their reservations division. The job was fine, but the managers were petty and seemed to justify their existence by finding issues when there weren't any. One day in July, I get a call from a woman that says she's from Toronto and needs to find a hotel room for the night because her house just burned down. Okay, no problem, I can help. So I called our group lead, Chuck, and explained to him what's going on because us regular employees are not allowed to go out of office. So Chuck makes the call to Toronto and explains the situation to them. He gets the okay to charge just $72 for the room, which is just about $100 off the regular room rate. He also told the woman she can book up to 3 nights and then she can work with the hotel staff if she needs longer. All the hotels require is an ID to prove the woman is from Toronto. They don't need proof her home burnt down or anything. They're willing to take her at her word, so as long as she has a Toronto address. Great, so I thank Chuck and get back to the woman. I tell her how she just needs an ID and then she can get a rate of $72 a night, telling her I can book her up for 3 nights. She says, "That's wonderful," and would like to use the rate for the Hilton Toronto New Year's Eve ball. Wait, what? I'm so confused. I sit there for a few seconds before muttering, what? The woman immediately grows incredulous and explains what a New Year's Eve ball is to me. I tell her I know what New Year's is, but it's July. She says yes, she wants to save the room rate and apply to the New Year's ball. I tell her she can't. She argues,
You never said the room rate couldn't be used on New Year's. I want to use it on New Year's, or that's false advertising.
I respond with, no, it's not. You said your house burnt down today and needed a room because you had nowhere to go. Unless your house is going to burn down on New Year's again, it's pretty clear what we're talking about now, tonight. She gets upset and starts screaming. That's when a man picks up another line to join the conversation and demands to know who the heck I am. I explain him with Hilton, and I tell him I'm trying to find him a room because I think his house burned down and he needs somewhere to stay. I say think because I'm seriously having doubts now. For those unfamiliar with the landlines, you can hook any number of phones to a line. Then anyone who picks up the phone connected to that one landline will be on the call. You're on the phone in your bedroom? I can pick up the phone in the kitchen and listen in. You need to talk to a husband and wife? Well, he can get on the phone in the living room and she'll get on the phone in the kitchen, and you can talk to them both. So the fact is, the husband could just pick up and jump in immediately, meaning it has to be a landline. If the house burnt down, how did they get a landline to jump on? What are they saying now? So I asked the husband if his house burnt down. He immediately responds with, you rooster sucker, you... Oh, what the heck? I'm not even gonna read that. Okay, now understand he's not screaming. He's saying this in a low voice, so he doesn't want anyone to hear him. And he's saying it in a very calm manner, so I start laughing. It was so weird and funny, I couldn't help it. The man gets more upset because I'm laughing and demands to know why. I'm still laughing as I mutter, because you're right. I should point out here in the story that I'm gay. So yeah, he was right. I then informed the guy I had to terminate the call due to abusive language and then hang up. Chuck asks me how everything went after he sees I'm off the call, and I tell him what happened. The calls were recorded, so he finds the call and listens. He's just as confused as I was when he hears a woman demanding the low rate for New Year's. I tell him to keep listening because her husband jumps on and starts cussing me out. Chuck listens and looks disgusted. Then he hears me say to the dude he was right, and Chuck loses it. He's laughing out loud with tears rolling down his cheek. He can't believe what I said to them. So, the woman and her husband files a complaint against me later. Ooh, what the heck? Later that day for hanging up on them. They said to just call for help and I was rude, refused to help and hung up on them. My manager listened to the call and decided to write me up. When they call me into the office, I'm confused because the couple clearly lied. I did try to help, called Chuck, got a lower rate, and I only hung up after the guy called me a rooster sucker several times. Policy states that if a customer swears, we can terminate the call, so how am I being written up? For non-service to customers, because I never tried to call the hotel back to ask if the lower rate could be applied to the New Year Eve's ball. Since my refusal to call the hotel back is what prompted the customers to cuss me out, it was my fault. What? Too long didn't read. A woman's house burns down in July, so she calls a nearby Hilton hoping for a discount on a hotel room since she's basically homeless. The hotel says sure, willing to help her out in her time of need. The woman then demands a discount to be applied to New Year's Eve ball that the Hilton is scheduled to host later that year. Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter what the reason is, please don't cuss people out. That's very rude, and that's how you just don't cuss people out. It's not a good thing. Also, yeah, where did they get that landline from anyways? Well, anyways, I'm too lazy to go to the end screen, so thank you all so much for watching this video. Please tell me what you thought about it down in the comments. Peace out.